Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm back, I'm BV, I'm hanging loose, I'm in Dogtown, I'm at Venice Beach, and I'm with the man, I'm with Dan, assistant editor and advertising director of Juice magazine, and I've got to say it's been one heck of a day, mate.
Sure has.
I put on one of my Instagram posts this afternoon that I feel like I've gone inside my skateboard from the 80s.
That's amazing.
As a 10-year-old kid, and stoked to have you on the show. Thanks so much.
Thank you, man. It's an honor.
Yeah, I'm so stoked. But enough of me. I want to learn more about you. I want to learn more about Juice, the origins of it, and of course Dogtown, because you're the man. You've been covering it behind the lens, behind film. Print magazine, right?
Yeah.
So
living it.
So wherever you want to start, living it, whatever, go. So where did it start? How did you?
Okay, so the mag started in 1993 in North Carolina, actually on the East Coast. Terry Kraft, she started it because she was running like a nightclub over there, and like a lot of the newspapers and magazines over there wouldn't cover like suicidal tendencies and NWA and stuff because it's like the Bible Belt. So her boss at the time was like, "We'll just start your own magazine then," and so she did. So she started Juice, and the first issue, you know, she borrowed like $500 and went around town and sold ads. People bought them, and like after the first one came out, everyone just loved it. So it just went from there. It wasn't her intention wasn't to do more than one. It was just one to prove a point, and then it just everyone loved it. So they're like, "When's the next one?" She was like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll just keep making it," and then it grew pretty fast. Like within the first year, it went from like a local magazine to like a regional to a national, like within 2 years. So it was like super cool. It was, you know, covering surfing, skating, music, and art from the East Coast, which was like a rare thing at the time. So
wow,
it's pretty rad, you know. And she was still running the nightclub, so it like worked perfectly with itself, you know, with the two of them together. So
yeah,
pretty rad.
And then so she started that. You met her when?
I met her in 1998 when she had already actually moved to New York City.
That's like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's 20 years ago. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. That's crazy. Sorry, moment.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So like New York City, she had moved there, and I was skating, you know, just doing my thing. I was actually working at World Trade Center. I think we talked about that earlier. And then, just, I don't know, I met this kid that was writing for her, and his name was Dean Sleeper. I always remember that dude. He's like, "Hey, can you write, man?" I was like, I can't do graffiti. He's like, "No, like, write." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So he took me up to the office. I met Terry and Andy Kessler and Jim Murphy, and I haven't missed a day since. Like, I went in there, I was like, "Oh my God, this is the best thing. Like, I can do it, whatever." I had no experience. Like, no experience at all. I mean, I could skate, but I didn't know how to sell an ad, you know. But I would just like showed up the next morning and just started getting on the phone, you know, like
phones, mate.
Like school, the University of Juice magazine is my, you know, I would say it like that. So, and it's just like just learning as we go, and it's been 20 years since that day. Mate. That is so insane, actually.
And like, just to give some context, before that, you were in the corporate world.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I was,
earning the big bucks.
Earning the big
fancy
bucks,
credit card,
at a law office, doing my thing, you know, and like
not living the passion, but chasing the bucks.
Chasing the bucks a little bit, yeah, because I was young and didn't know. Like I thought, you know, we're raised to be like, you know, get the good job and you know the white picket fence dream, you know, like that's someone else's dream.
I know that dream. That's someone else's dream.
Not that it's like forced on us, but that's like a normal thing. But then skateboarding has always been a defiant thing, you know. And I skated the whole time when I was doing that, but it was like. It started to like less skating, more chasing the dough, and it was you know. But that all ended the day I walked into Juice and found my passion. So I haven't missed a day since. So
Juice has been here the whole time, and then you've come across in '98, or
Juice. We actually moved here in '98.
Right.
So like we it was kind of crazy how that happened. So we basically came out here I think in early or late '97 I believe. Early 98, I believe, actually. And we did an event at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, and it was like this crazy... This guy was like a promoter, and he reached out to us because he wanted a skateboarding element at his thing. And it was like Run DMC and Brand Nubian and 808 State and all these like technical or whatever, techno bands and stuff. And we were like, okay. And he's like, we want you guys to do the skate part. So we're like, screw it. Let's go to California, road trip. So we got like 7 of us in an Astro van, drove across country, and got... like the Red Bull first time they ever set up their vert ramp, and we actually launched the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game at that.
So
and we had
sick.
123 pro skaters show up to that thing, and like
So good.
put like a mini ramp, and like we took over this whole Coliseum, and it was like insane. And that was like our first kind of like meeting everybody in the industry, because everyone just showed up because they're like, oh, free tickets to Run DMC and we can skate, you know, and we're just like, yeah, come on, man, you know, like, so it was super cool. And then we went back to New York, and then you know, life things happened, and Terry, we had to kind of move out of the situation there, so we're like, screw it, let's go to California and give it a shot. And Venice is where we stayed, because Terry's friend Mary had lived here, so we're like, let's just go to Venice and see what's up, you know. And we ended up finding a place like the third day we were here, and then boom, it was like, okay, like we're here, and the pavilion was still there, so you go down and start skating, and you start to understand where you are, and like, we knew what Dogtown was, don't get me wrong, like,
Sure.
we had already worked with Dogtown skateboards from New York, but it was like whole different game, you know. And it's like just steeped in like history and culture, and you're like, all of a sudden you're in it, and then you become like part of it, and it's like, it's the craziest thing. Like, it's crazy. Like,
well,
yeah.
I've spent, you know, a few hours with you today, and we've got like, what's this dog's name?
that's Samantha. Hey,
Samantha's going off there. If anyone can hear Samantha's going off, she says hi from Kelly.
Yeah. There's the pups.
So we've been hanging out for.
There you are. Yeah.
Samantha's our first dog on Hangin Loose.
All right, you're the first one.
You
Good
dropped some
job.
suckers.
Good job.
So we hung out for 3 hours today, and around the culture and the history, and you've opened me up to, you know, so many things, and exposed me to so many things. You know, not only skating the park today, or the plaza I should call it.
The plaza.
The plaza,
not the skate
so we don't have to
park,
wear helmets and pads. Skated there, but some of the memorial and some of the stuff here, and you know, just some of the things you've shared about this room that we're sitting in. Some of the music artists you've had playing in this like room, and all the skateboarding influence and the old decks and the photos and the imagery. I'm blown away. Like, this is crazy.
I'm blown away too. It's awesome.
Yeah,
you know, like
sick.
We live it, but we don't take it for granted. You know, I mean, like every day we wake up, we realize like what we're doing. You know, and like, I don't know, not to get too deep, but like, there's not too many other people that like concentrate on the history of skateboarding. And so for us, like, you can't go back in history and interview like the inventor of the NBA or the inventor of skiing or something like that. But skateboarding, there's like kind of the godfathers are still alive. Yeah. So we can actually tell the history of skateboarding peer to peer firsthand, you know. So like, you know, when people pass on, like we've lost Jay Adams and a few other people, but like we were able to get their stories from their mouths, you know, and preserve the real history of skateboarding through talk story, and like it's super important, you know. It is. When we wake up every day, like we have an actual like, you know, I don't know, I call it like a moral imperative, you know, to like document the history of skateboarding, not in a boring way, but like peer to peer. Yeah. So like when Terry started the magazine, she was a big fan of like Andy Warhol's magazine, Interview magazine. So it's kind of like peer to peer, like celebrity to celebrity kind of thing. So we always find it like there's value in having like, you know, Jay Adams interviewing Tony Alva, or like, you know, like Steve Caballero interviewing James Hetfield from Metallica. Like there's two different lives, but like they intersect and they can't BS each other, sort of. They both lived it, but it's like you get the like this really cool special thing that you don't really get anywhere else. Yeah. So that's kind of like in a nutshell, I guess. But dude, we love it. You know, I don't know, it's crazy.
And like I think the thing that I've found as well is that, you know, like the major sports like the NBA, golf, like back home in Australia, Australian rules football, tennis all over the world, it's so well documented and celebrated, and those sports mean so much to so many people. And with skateboarding and surfing, equally, it means so much to us and the people who skate and surfboard, and like everything else is getting documented so well, and it's, you know, it's refreshing and exciting to know that this history is being not created, but captured forever. Yeah. Because it's so special to so many people.
Well, it's easier to, I don't want to say it's easier, but it's a little easier to document like NBA and NFL. And, because it's like you have television rights and you have like, it's its own thing. And like, but basically what skateboarding and surfing is like, you're following a bunch of privateers around, you know what I mean? Sammy, stop.
Sammy!
So, you're,
she wants to be in front of the camera.
Sammy. No. I think she heard something outside. Sorry.
We just keep rolling, mate.
Hangin' loose.
Hangin' loose.
Yeah, Sammy agrees with what I'm saying. Yeah. So, no, but like we're all privateers, you know? So like you're basically kind of like, you're following people that are following their passion, but it's not within the context of like a league or like a, you know, I mean, there's the WSL and stuff like that, but it's not, like, you're not going to find the purist of the WSL. You know, like Fast Eddie in Hawaii is not going to be rolling at Kelly's Wave right now.
Yeah.
And that's fine, you know, but, like, it's kind of one of those things where it's harder to document it, sort of, because you have to go to where people are. You know, they're not coming to see you in a stadium yet.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, Olympics are coming, but, like, that's a whole small percentage of skating.
It'll be so good.
It's going to be interesting.
As I look up on the wall here and look at some of the skateboards and the photos and the memorabilia, it's not only is it epic, it's, you know, what you guys are all about in skateboarding. It reminds me of the startup hustle and business owners, and some of the audience of Hangin Loose are in business or entrepreneurs starting out.
Yeah.
And like, it's the grassroots of what Juice is all about, and skateboarding is where I get inspiration.
Me too.
For the startup hustle, for that lean startup model. I've never been a big person to raise capital to start something. It's always been punk as, let's grow this shit.
Drop in.
Yeah, that's it. So,
you might fall, you might not.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And something you said today about that and how it relates is that, you know, drop in, fall, learn something, get back up, grow and keep moving forward. And
absolutely.
Same for business owners, right? Mm-hmm. And like, Juice is essentially a small business, a niche business. But,
for sure,
but it's expanded nationally and also globally to perspective.
Yeah.
So in how many countries?
We're in 34 countries right now. But it's very niche, you know, so like we're not Rolling Stone in those countries, but we have like our following, and we're totally cool with that. Obviously, we'd like to keep growing, but like the right people kind of find it, so we're cool with that too. You know, it's awesome. And, but yeah, you take life slams, you take business slams, you take skateboarding slams. You get up. You know, you get up. If you don't get up, then you're not a true skateboarder or surfer. Well, you know, like I don't know, like it's part of the DNA of what we do.
It
is. You know what I mean?
It's
like. It's the ultimate, and we talked about this earlier, like, I don't care, like, what gender, what race, what color, what size, what shape you are. You put a skateboard underneath somebody's feet, it's a level playing field. Same thing with surfboard. You know, it's like, the ocean's bigger than all of us, so good luck. You know what I mean? But it's like, there's, like, this mutual, unwritten respect we all have for each other. And I always say that, like, kind of, like, skateboarders and surfers, like, kind of make the best entrepreneurs, because we're just not afraid of anything, you know? That skateboard can do more damage to me than like a business mistake.
Sure. Well, we are afraid, but we're prepared to step into that.
Right. I guess fear is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah. You know, it's there. Step into it, and you know, I've always found that you step into it, and that first step is the biggest one. Yeah. And you go, I did it. And it's like, shit, I want more of that. I'm going to go do it again and again and again, and create all these reference points. Yeah. To move forward by looking back at the success and you've got to build it over time. Yeah,
it's never short. It's always a long game, like, which is, you know. Yeah. But you can't ever master skateboarding. Like, it's impossible.
You can't master skateboarding, you can't master business, you can't master surfing, because it's always changing.
Yeah, and if you're goofy-footed and, like, you think you're amazing, then go start trying to surf regular footed. You're starting over. Yeah. You can't ever master it. Yeah. It's, like, endless amount of tricks and combinations and things that you can do, and it's, like, awesome, you know? If you look at, like, the world and business the same way, you can't ever, like, lose, because there's always different doorways and pathways that you can go down, or you can kick doors open that you didn't even know were there, and it's awesome, you know? It's the best, you know? You just learn, you know? And like, I don't know, I think if you treat people with respect and you have humility and you're willing to admit mistakes and be honest with people, then like, business is pretty much in your hands, you know?
It is.
If you want to be sharky about it and stuff, you can go the Wall Street route and do all that stuff too, and just, you know, the answer to what you want is more, then that's a different pathway, but there's like a soul to what we do, you know, and there's actually like a meaning, you know, and commerce is commerce, don't get me wrong, like we can't survive without money, but the driving force is the serving of our communities, you know, and I think that's like a really important thing, and don't want to say that's a lost art, because I don't want to believe that, but like, you know, the social media stuff that's happening, everything like that, it's like, some of that can be good for a community, but some of it's kind of taking away from community and making people lonely, and like it's got these adverse effects.
If it's enabling the community, and supporting it from the grassroots level, epic. But if it's bringing down, undermining, then it's different.
Weird deal, right? So we live in a really interesting time right now.
Yeah.
So like today was a great day because we just shared experiences and went out and like interacted with a bunch of people from all over the country at the park, and like everyone was cool. Kids were killing it, you know. And it was like. It was just inspiring, and then like we're at the levels we're at, but we were skating, you know,
It's
and
like,
everyone was stoked, you know. It's not like we don't have to go do a 900 to get the same like pure stoke from it. I guess.
I got stoked from doing a grind in that.
Yeah,
What's the middle bowl called?
Oh, the mini bowl. Yeah,
mini bowl.
I call it the mini bowl.
I did grind the mini bowl.
Yeah, no,
it's like,
sick,
what the hell?
it was a good one too.
Yeah. So okay, there's a couple of things. The creative and the creative aspect, I think, of skateboarding and that expression and that individuality that comes from that, and that translating into the business world.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the artwork and the creativity and the inspiring characters that you've been around for so long, I've found that being different and creative and innovating in business and the way you position a business and a brand really cuts through the marketplace. And today I had a breakthrough. It was like, okay, it's from some of these decks from the 80s, and to be different, that's helped me so much. Share some stuff around the creativity and skateboarding, what you've seen, and like look at some of that, like there's some.
Well, it's weird, like it's that old saying, like opportunity is the mother of invention, right? So when you're thinking of creative stuff, it's like when you sometimes, I don't know, we have a kind of a unique process here though, I guess, because like I kind of like. We look at other magazines and we look at other things. We try not to too much. Like we kind of stand our own lane.
Yep.
And then we just take inspiration from, like, working with just ridiculous creative people, and like having like Jeff Ho and Olsen and all these people that are just crazy, in the best way possible. But like their whole lives they've been forging their own paths, So you kind of like look at what they do and you take like cliff notes of what some of the more successful artists do, and then putting that into commerce and business is a whole different game, though. Like, there's that double-edged sword that, like, I talk to so many artists about this, and they're just like, yeah, man, but, like, I don't want to sell my painting for, like, 10 grand to some dude who's just going to park it on his wall. And I'm like, but do you want to keep painting? Like, I mean, because that would be really good for you, and, like, there's this, like, there's the purists and the soul searchers and the soul skaters and soul surfers, and then there's, like, the commerce part of it, and, like, let's just be honest, man, like, we live in a world where money is a tool that we all need, so it's harder for some people to swallow that pill than others, For us, like, we've always looked at it like the more we can grow, the better we can do, the more people we can reach, the better it is. Like, obviously the more money comes, but like for us, it's more important to like inspire the creativity in other people by giving them permission to understand that we're doing it ourselves. So like a lot of people know that there's only a small group of us that do this, and they're like, they're patient with us, like it takes us a little time to put the mags out, but everyone's like down when it comes out, and we get like letters, and it's like the craziest thing.
Well,
like,
everyone was asking today, when's the next edition coming?
Like it's just like people want it, and it's cool because like for us, obviously we want to keep doing it, but like, business can either get in your way or you can embrace it and make it, your deal. So it's like it's hard, and we're in a different society now, man. I mean, like, honestly, like, social media and all that stuff kind of put a little dent in the magazine industry a bit. But, like, luckily, like, we try to do, like, timeless content. So, like, we still very much believe in print. But you can become, like, antiquated, and you can become, like, I don't know, you've seen Boogie Nights, right? The movie where he's like, we got to go to videotape. Film is dead. You'll never make it. It's like, I hear that speech from people like, you have to have a website, you have to do social media, you have to do all this stuff, and it's like, we just had to do a magazine before, like that was it, before the internet. Like, when Terry started, she was like cutting out the pages with razor blades and like pasting them on, you know what I mean? Like, she started before computers, then like desktop publishing comes in, and you go like, okay, you either keep doing it on paste up or you learn computers. So she learned how to use a computer and taught herself how to do graphic design and the whole deal. And so then websites become something, and now we have to learn how to do a website. And so now we've gone from being like just a magazine to like a merchandising company, a website company, a film company, a marketing company, a magazine, and like it's insane how fast. But if you don't embrace the changes of things, then I don't know, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice, and like
you get lost, you get left behind.
Luckily, skateboarders were like the earliest like adopters of technology and new things. Like, they found that out, like with GoPro. It was like they sent GoPros out to surfers, and they were like, oh, first thing they did was like bring it in the wave at Pipeline, and like they gave it to a skater, and like we figured it out faster than most people, and pushed it to the limits immediately. So like luckily with skateboarding, like we're able to just like embrace change instead of fear it, sort of, you know. So it's cool.
No,
like
not...
it's the truth though, like because a lot of people are afraid of change.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And you gotta roll with it, man. And so, you know, we've taught ourselves how to do everything. So yeah, now we're a website company. We're a merchandise company. We're
media
media,
merch,
yeah,
right?
we're media
sport,
moguls.
Media merch, sport.
Yeah, but it's cool. But we love it because then you
yeah.
get to learn stuff all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's the same even for me. I was in a sort of more of a traditional IT business, walked away from it, and then now creating the future phase of Bell Surfwax, True for Life, these commercial entities to connect the passion with the people who need it most, right? And to do it now is different than back in like the late 90s when I had, you know, an email monitor thing that I could create one email and send it out to 200 people and get sales, right? Now it's kind of like moved to, well, it was 10 years ago, it was on Facebook text, and now it's Facebook, Instagram, video, LinkedIn, like everything. It's like everything. And it is fun to move forward with it. And you need to move forward if you want to be able to get your message across. Yeah,
but think how cool that is.
I know, it's so good. Like it's,
we're so connected to the world now that like, we are, man.
I wouldn't be here.
Right.
If it wasn't for Airbnb experience.
Right. So.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So
today,
it's crazy to me because like literally now these kids who are like, if you're thinking about the future generations, it's like, okay, so for me, you know, like I had to learn all the tricks of making phone calls in like the 1998 to 2000. Like you call a company and you're like, let's just say you're calling company X and you're like, hey, I'm trying to find who's in charge of advertising, and they never want to tell you. So you have to get through the gatekeepers, right? So now you can just go on LinkedIn, find out the person that's in charge of that, and call the company and say like, oh, hey, I lost this person's email, and then, oh, we can't give it to you. What's your email? And they tell you, and usually it's like, you know, Allison dot something at the, and then you just figure it out in your email. Like you can figure out ways there's so many ways to figure out how to get to people now that the world is so accessible that there's no excuses anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's awesome. Like if you want to contact the CEO of like Virgin, of like if you want to find Richard Branson, go on LinkedIn.
No, you can.
And there's an opportunity for you to be able to do that. So like
100%.
Now there's no excuses. You know what I mean? So it's like, embrace that, or like
embrace it.
It's awesome. You know,
empower yourself to do that, because what happens is generally what people do is, oh, I don't like this, or you know, I don't want to do that, I don't want the future, and they externalize the responsibility of their lives in so many ways, or their businesses to something else. And you know, the marketplace, Gary Vee talks about this, the marketplace doesn't give two flying iotas about your feelings about anything. The marketplace is the marketplace.
Correct.
You know, and you've got to adapt the way you communicate it to experience what you want, or the outcomes you want to get. So
and stand up, you know, and just do creative stuff. You know, like I remember I've done some crazy stuff over the years, man. But like
we're in Dogtown, mate.
But like I mean, just creative things to get people's attention. You know, like if you find out the secretary of a company is like loves M&Ms, like randomly send M&Ms and then be like, call, and eventually that person becomes like the CEO. You know what I mean? It's the truth. So like, never, ever, ever underestimate anyone you talk to at any company.
100%.
And like a lot of people, you know, it's interesting because like I just learned sales kind of on my own, but I'm like kind of a people person, so that worked for me. But like, yeah, you just like treat everybody with respect, and like there's this hierarchy of thought that a title means something at a company, and it doesn't mean shit. Like, I mean, straight up, man. Like it's, you know, the guy that's sweeping the floors is going to be the guy that's running the company in 10 years, you know, like knows every aspect of the business literally from sweeping the floors, you know, and so it's like, you know, when we're entrepreneurs, so, you know, we still sweep the floor and take out the trash, and we still do everything. So like, and it's awesome.
But you know the best thing about that and what you've just said, which I totally agree with all of it, the best thing is when you look at everybody else equally, then when you look at everyone else equally and the way you perceive everything externally, then you don't feel like you're being judged yourself.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's what people miss.
Absolutely.
They don't get to that point.
Absolutely.
So I go through life and what I do, and you know, like you said, the cleaner or the CEO, whoever it is, whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't make any judgments on anyone, and then that, unconsciously, I would never feel like anyone's judging me.
For sure.
And it enables me to be free to say or do or think anything, whatever the fuck I want.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, and there's a magic to that, because like, if you look at everyone you meet, and I don't care who you meet and what circumstance you meet them in, everyone has something to offer the world. They
100%.
may not have found that yet.
Yeah.
But they have something. You know what I mean? So we were talking earlier about the kids in school.
Yeah.
The kid in the back of the room that's drawing. You know, I'm like, oh, that kid should be an architect. You know what I mean? Like, but that kid's not thinking that. No. He's just getting yelled at for doodling in class. But like, it's a lot of people. Like inherently will maybe find what their passion is. Some people are afraid to pursue it. Some people may never find it because other people are telling them like, oh, you're never going to be good at that. But I look at people and go, like, hey, what can you offer to the world? You know, because it's going to be something good.
Yeah.
You know? And like, you might get caught up in some other shit. Like life, we're all human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everyone has something to offer to the world. So if you look at the world and the people that way and try to enhance what they're doing in the world, it enhances what you're doing in the world. And that's how you build a community.
Yeah.
And that's how you get support back. And that's when you don't have fear, because it's like, yeah, I remember that kid when he was doodling in class and now he's an architect and I'm not taking responsibility for it in any way. But like, maybe you can inspire people to find themselves because you've gone through that path already. And being entrepreneurs, like, you do that in fast forward.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
you
like,
do it quick, yeah.
You work for somebody, like, you know, I worked for the corporate, I worked for the man, you know, and it was like, yeah, I got my paycheck. Did I care about the company that much? Not really. You know what I mean? They were making billions of dollars. Did I care? Like, if they didn't make $1 billion 1 month? No, because the consequences weren't real, you know? But like, when you're an entrepreneur or a skateboarder or a surfer, your consequences are dead real all the time.
Always.
So it causes you to focus in a different way, you know? And so, like, if you can laser focus on things, like, you can find good in people faster. I think.
Man, this is amazing. Like I've had some amazing people on the show so far, but this.
Oh, thank you.
There's so much value if you're out there watching and you're a business owner, entrepreneur. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's about 8 nuggets of gold already.
Well, yeah. I mean, like,
we're skateboarders though, right?
No, we're skateboarders. Like, no, man, it's crazy because.
And we're underdogs.
Yeah, we're always the underdog, which is
creepy, sneaky.
That's how we got the skate park built, man. Like, underestimate us, please.
I know.
Yeah, because it's one of those things, and like it's the time-old thing. Like, if you work hard and you believe in it, other people will believe in it, and you'll get the fruits of the seeds that you planted.
Yeah.
But man, you gotta see the value in people, and like I think that's like. It's kind of one of those things that's in the society these days that's really bothering me, because there's a lot of hate and a lot of disdain, a lot of divisions that could be from the current, you know, thing that's happening in this country, which I won't get into the politics of it.
Sure.
But divisiveness and, you know, splitting people apart and causing lines in the sand, like, are horrifically scary, you know? And like, the thing about a line in the sand is the second the water comes in, the line goes away, right? So why can't we be the ocean? You know what I mean? And like, that's what Beautiful. We need to start, like, communicating to the youth, because you're not going to change an 85-year-old person's mind right now.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But an 8-year-old man, you know? How about that 17-year-old kid that's cleaning the plastics out of the ocean? You know what I mean? It's like generationally, we need to change the future by embracing and laser focusing on the kids and like what their challenges are going to be and how we're going to help them overcome them by pointing out their talents and their skills and their passion and embracing and enhancing. So it's like a weird time right now, but it's an exciting time. Because
super exciting.
Now we can get to them, you know, through all these different channels, right? So the kids are on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever. We can be on there too. You know what I mean? So we can lead by example, and like, you know, kids might not look up to us, but they might. You don't know. But we have a responsibility to make sure if they do, that we're like giving a good message.
Man,
you know?
that's it. And like, even in my story, you know, like in my personal life, you know, my son and his friends love playing Fortnite.
Oh yeah,
and like 98% of the other parents I know, complain and bitch and moan about their sons or daughters playing Fortnite, and they're missing the point. You know, this is the opportunity to connect with our kids.
Absolutely.
This is the opportunity to have an influence on them. So when I'm on there playing like Fortnite with them, I get the opportunity to listen to the language and what they're speaking about, and add in one sentence about something that might mean something to them around life that could change everything for them in that moment.
Absolutely.
Because of technology, because of the way things are. You know, and so many people miss that. It's
crazy because like. And then you ask the kid, like, what's your favorite thing about playing Fortnite? And one kid might be like, I like the way the characters are designed. Oh, you might be a video game designer.
Yeah, and the worlds and teamwork and like, there's so much stuff.
I like that part. Like, what's your favorite part? You know, the one great thing about the youth is they're curious.
They're curious.
So don't ever let them stop being curious.
Yeah.
Always answer their questions to the best of your knowledge. If you don't know the answer, then say you don't know. Be honest, because we'll pass it along.
Yeah.
But like these kids have so much access to so much stuff that we didn't growing up. That it's scary on some levels because like you don't want kids to be exposed to certain things before certain ages, but it's the world we're living in now. But like it opens the communication lines, like you're saying, and like our generation, like I think you're younger than me, but like. My dad didn't skate,
And my dad didn't skate.
Yeah, they like kind of hated it,
My dad didn't surf either. He said, that'd be easy. No, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I'm not going.
Or like the element of people that were skating when I was a kid were not like the best kids, They're defiant ones, like I said. But like, we weren't getting into trouble, but we're playing in the streets and the avenues and we're out at night, like skating at banks and skating at locations when they're closed. It was, if you're a skateboarder, you're a criminal at some point, like... We have, keep skateboarding a crime because we kind of like it dirty and gritty. We don't want everyone to get it, but, that's part of the appeal of it, But then there's like, now, like, look, like Tony Hawk and his son Riley's pro, Steve Olson, his son Alex is pro, Lance Mountain had Serial, like, it's insane. Like, and so now it's a generational thing that your kids can actually skate with you, which is so insane to me. But like,
man,
it's amazing. And that communication is like, it's intangible and it's completely tangible at the same time, and it's like life lessons together. And it's like there's something really powerful about that.
Yeah.
And you can take that into business as well.
Sure.
100%. So when you're like dealing with your employees or people that you're trying to train or people that you're working with, like go to war together. 100%. Get shot together. Figure out how to climb out of the freaking foxhole together.
Yeah.
Because when you go through that. And you can both contribute to the solution. It's like there's nothing you can't do. Like I know they do those corporate retreats where they go to those like escape rooms. They try to get out all the employees in there, and like everyone has to work together to get out of the escape room. Like life's an escape room. You know what I mean? Like business is an escape room. So it's like, I don't know. Again, like you may find that working with certain people that they have a talent that they don't even know about, that you don't even know about, and like just giving people the benefit of the doubt. But the one thing I would say to anybody who's doing business is do not work with people who are not fucking passionate.
Right.
You have to be passionate.
About the same thing you are.
Just about what they're doing.
What you're talking, that vision. Yeah,
if you're like a video game designer, be the most passionate video game designer ever to live. Like if you're a skateboarder, like be passionate about it. Like if you're gonna do what we do, this is a total labor of love passion project. But like. You can't stop somebody with that much passion.
You can't.
And so if you surround people like yourself with other people who are that passionate about whatever they're doing, man, it's powerful. And that's inspiring. And kids, man, they have no idea. Like they don't understand consequences. They don't have to pay bills. They don't have to do adult stuff. So like at a very early age, you can actually like kind of encourage them to follow their passions. You
can, yeah.
It's awesome,
It is great.
And like we can change the world through the next generation of kids by being positive, and literally like being the ocean to wash the sand lines away. I swear, like that. We're so lucky to be able to have the opportunity to do that. And we're lucky enough to recognize it.
It's having awareness around.
Everyone lives in their bubbles, man. Like, let's just be honest. Like, we all have our bubbles. Like, we go through our day-to-days. We have our challenges. We're all human.
We need someone else to say, have you ever thought about this, or ask that question, to have that,
It just, or like, unsolicited advice from people sometimes can be offensive or can be like the best thing you ever had.
Take that. Never let the way the message is communicated. I can't remember. Affect the message?
Yeah.
And don't let the delivery get in the way of the message.
Yeah, don't let the delivery get in the way of the message.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's also like, try not to always be the smartest person in the room. You'll never learn anything.
I love being stupid.
Yeah, you'll never learn shit. If you want to learn something, don't be the smartest person in the room. I don't know. Like, we constantly operate outside our comfort zones being skaters and surfers. So, like, it's, there's comfort in the chaos and the struggle for us, And you got to learn how to be comfortable in the chaos.
Well, that's one of my things I've done since leaving the tech world is to create the future phase and take corporates on a program called Future X. I took a group surfing, mountain bike riding and hiking, and had a setup experience where they found a body that was damaged, real person, and pushing them out of their comfort zone. It's like, and they're like, I didn't want to go surfing. I thought I was going to get eaten by a shark. And there's a limiting belief around that, right?
Right, sure.
And it's true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you could.
It's true.
Yeah.
But the same thing is people have got limiting beliefs around their careers, their relationships, their life, what's possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and what the program I run is, it helps them experience a limiting belief, step into it, step into the fear, come through the other and go, oh, I did it.
Right.
Right? And then it's like, okay, so you did that. Now what about that other limiting belief you had back in the real world or the business world?
Right.
You did that. So, okay, let's go for this now. And
yeah, instead of being fearful of the shark in the water, become the shark in the water. You know, like that's straight up.
Man, we can chat all day.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's something to that. But the one thing I would say is like, if you, it doesn't matter how old you are, like you can always pick up skateboarding or surfing. Like I recommend it to people because when you are surfing or skating, you can't think about anything else but being in the present.
In the now.
And there's something really spiritual and magical about being in the present for a certain amount of time. It's like a vacation for your brain, honestly. But like it causes you to focus on like carnal survival, like real like intrinsic things that are in our DNA as human beings, and it brings you back to almost hunter-gatherer level, and you have to just, it teaches you how to focus on the moment. And in business, you're always kind of either looking ahead or looking back and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But when you're in the moment on something, that's where the passion lives. So like skating and surfing and snowboarding, you know, they can teach you how to be passionate about something.
Yeah.
And so like I recommend it to anyone. Fall, get hurt, get up, keep going.
All right.
Win. You know what I mean?
So you've been epic.
No, we can talk forever right now. Sorry.
But there's a few more things.
Yeah, of course. I'm ready. Let's go.
I'll
Let's
this
go.
next question.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question that's going to be really fucking hard for you to answer.
Oh, okay, maybe we'll see.
Okay. Who's your favourite skater of all
That's the worst
time?
question ever. Oh man. Okay.
I
Well,
think it was that what you showed me today. That was on the Juice TV site on YouTube, right?
yeah,
Was
that's
that
like
interview?
asking a comic book nerd, like, who's your favorite
Yeah.
Marvel character? Like, come on, man.
So who's your favourite skateboarder of all time?
That's really hard to answer. That's hard. I don't even know if I can answer that really. But
So I don't know if
I
that's
guess-
off the hook or.
guess favorite, like some of my favorite humans that ride skateboards.
Okay,
maybe?
nice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
That's a
like,
better way to answer it.
man, there's so many different ways to look at that. But I could answer that like kind of in general terms. Like my favorite skateboarders are the ones who just go 110%. And there's dudes out there that like even, you know, just are pushing the boundaries of possibilities in skating, you know, and like that's a huge list. I mean, that could go Rodney Mullen, Jesse Martinez inventing a wall ride, like Tony Alba doing a frontside air, Tony Hawk doing a loop, you know, like just the dudes that are and the girls that are willing to just push possibilities and take the like I am out of impossible and just do stuff are like kind of my favorites, you know. But then style matters, of course.
Yeah, style
you know?
matters.
So like it's a difficult question to answer.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like,
it is.
you can see it though, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, who's your favorite basketball player? Like, who's your favorite snowboarder? Who's your favorite surfer? You know, like, how do you even answer
Yeah,
that?
it's tough, right?
Like, you could say, well, at Pipeline, my favorite surfer is this person, but at, you know, at Bell's, it's this person who could be like a 10-year-old. You know,
Big Fanning at Bells,
Yeah.
Michael Hockey, yeah.
right? It's hard. How do you answer that?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but like, you can see the passion and you can see the drive. You know, and the dudes that are just, and the girls that are just going 110 miles an hour and just going for it.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites. They're the ones who inspire you. You know, because half the stuff they're doing, I don't even know if they think it's possible. You know, but then they do it, and it's great. You know.
So sick.
Yeah, I guess this is a hard question.
But yeah, it's a
Stump
great.
me.
And I asked her, I thought, no, you know, like, let's put him on the
If
start.
I was
Let's
forced
stop.
to say one name.
No, you couldn't.
I can't do it,
You
man.
couldn't. No.
I have to be neutral. I'm a
You do,
mag-
you
I work
do.
in a magazine,
You
man.
do.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, my favorite skater is this person, so no one else has ever given the mag. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
As we look at some of the photos,
Yeah,
like
I know.
Jeff and Jesse Martinez, and like,
It's hard, man. 'Cause,
Wow.
like, well, I shoot
Wow.
photos
What?
of skating too, so it's like there's a thrill to that too, you know? It's like
Yeah.
landing when you get a good photo, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like landing a trick, you know, it's
Yeah.
the same thing. So
yeah.
it's hard, man. But
Mate, we spoke about community today. I've got some goodies for you.
community!
Now, today what was exciting, so we've just released our Super Sticky Pro, which is our competition formula Bell Surf Wax
Sick.
for sponsored riders. And
Today.
you got the first one.
Sick!
I got these delivered to my place out of the factory on Thursday the night before I took the flight.
Holy
And I
crap.
grabbed a handful of them and put them in my
Wow.
backpack. We've got Super Sticky, the Chicks one. I've got the Tropical for you.
Okay, let's talk about this
We've
for a
got,
second.
we've got the warm water and we've got the Super Sticky
What other surf wax do you know that's in the shape of
shape
a
of the
bell?
bell. But more than that, what other surf wax do you know that proceeds from the sales of wax will be used to create positive change?
Smells good too.
Create positive change in the world through the Shred for Life programs, which are going to be coming. We're having a launch event down at Torquay on the 24th of February.
Love that.
And mate, this has come out straight out of my personal collection.
No way that
it's washed, it smells good.
I love that.
I know you like these t-shirts. We've got the Bell Surf Wax logo, and then of course on the back we've got Shred for Life and like Bodie.
That is so epic, dude. That is so epic.
At a Point Break, so that's for a gift for you, mate.
No
as well.
way, man. I will wear this with pride.
I know you will. I know. So I grabbed it and thought, I'm going to run out of clothes. Not really.
No, man. Cool t-shirts are never out of style.
I've still got the one on that I've worn all day. I was on the plane. It actually stinks, so I thought I've got to give you that one.
Alright, you're authentic, dude.
And there's a sticker for your board as well, mate.
Rad.
Yeah,
No
so
way,
this is all
man.
going to our team riders.
Sick. Look at that.
Pretty epic and part of the community. And I just,
dude, so cool.
You know, I'm so appreciative. And I'll give it to you. I'm so appreciative not only your time, but your sharing and. You know, like I want to help you in Australia with Juice and like the opportunity to come to Venice and get into front of some kids here as well.
We're stoked. This is how it works.
I want to turn black sheep into unicorns, mate. That's
okay. I'm down with that.
Something happened today, and it was kind of like that's the way.
That's how it should be, though.
Yeah.
No, but this is how it works. You're watching this like.
This
we just met today.
We met today.
So
literally.
But we're like. With the passions that we have and the like-minded drive for what we're doing, like we're family already. It was like it's instant. You know what I mean? And like this is what I'm saying. Like in business, like we're gonna do huge things, and we're already doing huge things, whether it be local or national or global.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter as long as we're all like on the same path to like creativity and positivity and like inspiring people. And the fact that you give back is like. You're not doing it just to be like, oh, give back. You know, like you're doing it because your heart's there. You know, and like you can't fail if you follow your heart. You know,
I
so
do it for my own happiness.
I know, I get it, man. Like we're not.
You do it for happiness and then to help others. Like that's enough, right?
Because if you help others, it helps you.
Yeah.
Like it's the truth, though. Like I don't know why people forgot that. It's weird. You know.
How can everyone follow you, Dan?
You can follow us on social media at Juice Magazine is the main one.
Yeah.
My personal one's at Juice Dan.
Yeah.
And then Facebook, Juice Magazine. You can go on our website, juicemagazine.com, and we have a camera on the front of our place here in Venice Beach.
VeniceBeach.com?
No, it's just juicemagazine.com.
Juicemagazine.com.
Yeah, you can watch the boardwalk 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yeah, and then we have like a bunch of stuff on our website. You can spend hours on there. So enjoy. You know, buy shirts and hats so we can eat burritos. We love you. And no, it's totally cool, man. Like. Yeah, maybe we'll be in Australia soon.
We got to come down.
We got to do a tour to Australia.
Got to come down.
We'll bring some people.
Yeah,
some skateboarding over there and surfing.
Dude, that'd be epic, you know. And like, we'll get that mag out in Australia.
Yeah,
we're super passionate about it.
We're stoked, man. Like,
yeah,
just follow your dreams. Like, if you want to follow us, we're following our dreams. So, if we can do anything to inspire anybody, you know. Happy accident, but at the same time, just follow what you love, you know, and
that's it.
That's all we can do, you know.
Mate, you're a legend. Thanks for coming on the show. One last thing. It's episode 13 of Hangin Loose.
Yo!
All I'm going to do now is throw down the shuckers. I don't even need to tell you what a shucker is, so let's throw them down. You ready? Staring the battle of the camera over here.
All right, man.
1, 2, 3. You!
13.
13 in
Venice.
Venice.
Yeah. Crazy.
Thanks, brother. You're a legend.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
It was an
Thanks,
honor.
everyone.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, nice.